everybody stand? Okay, so let us pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Without takers. So, our topic for today is all about games. So, before tayo proceed sa ating proper discussion, kung makadawag mo games na word, sa may mabot sa inyong mind.
Exciting, fun, enjoyable, engaging.
So we have here the objectives that you will be able to define game-based learning, discuss the steps in implementing game-based learning, and give examples of game-based learning. So karon, nagbala na to kung sa game-based learning. So atong basahon natin.
Game-based learning is one of the techniques educators use to engage their learners and to appeal to their diverse learning styles. According to an article in 2014 entitled Learning Media and Technology, it is also used by educators to help learners recall the lesson easier by scientifically and release brain dopamine. In choosing which game would be most appropriate to use, determine first the purpose of the game so that the options would be narrowed down. To assure its effectiveness, the educators will create the game themselves. It is also important to take note that the game must be engaging and the educators must assess the progress towards the gameplay.
Okay, sa game-based learning, kay kuha na siya, technique ra bitaw siya sa ato ang mga teachers kanang aron makita ang engagement sa teachers o sa learners bitaw. Kay kanang di ba ang mga learners kay na sila lahi-lahi nga mga learning style. So through ang game-based learning is ato ang ma-meet ang ilang mga kanang managalahi nga mga paagi bitaw sa pagkahibalo. So daghan mo og klase sa mga games. Then pinaagi po sa game kanang ang mga educator is kanang makahimo din siya progress bitaw dira sa mga learners. Then ang game-based learning para mahimo siyang short kay mo ni siya ang mga games bitaw para sa mga card games, mga board games, mga video games, may basta kay any kind of games nga kanang ma-meet ang learning style sa mga learners. Then game-based learning or the GBL is na-create siya aron ma-balance daw ang lesson or subject matter with a gameplay that aims to enhance the player's ability to retain and apply the aforementioned lesson to the real world. So, di ba, kung dili na sa ito ang pag-teach, dili lang pura ta word. So, di ba, dapat kailangan mga one-good na ay ma-apply bitaw nila ang ato ang isultilan. Lagi sa games, dili lang mga written words silang ma-learn, kundi pati ka lang daghan di ba like ma-engage mo ko lang ilang sa skills, sa ilang cognitive, mga yan na bitaw. So mas mo retain ang kanang learning, mas mo retain sa ilahang nahibalaan. And then game-based learning is a game utilized by the children during the instruction to define learning outcomes. In game-based learning, learners are allowed to explore pertinent aspects of games in a context designed by the teacher for the learning process. Then collaboration daw between the teacher and the learners should be displayed, which will enable them to add depth and perspective to the experience of playing the game. So ang game, small siya ang one activities nga maka-catch bitaw sa interest sa mga learners. So kung bisan ganit sa to ang sa pag may mga game na games, kay mortag ma-excite, tapos makuha na din ang ato ang attention. Then Through this approach, the entire class together with the teacher work toward the attainment of the learning goal, experiencing fun at the same time keeping time highly engaged in the learning process. So ang effective application of the lesson can be shown and can be easily transferred from the simulated environment to real life. So now, ang game-based learning is associated siya with gamification. Ang gamification kay paano siya? Mga gamification kay mga applies game element or a game framework to existing learning activities. Game-based learning design learning activities that are intrinsically game-like. So, dili kay work ang gamification kay ang application na sa game-based learning. Mao na ni siya na kay game-based learning is simply learning through games. Then while ang gamification is the application of game like mechanics to non-game entities to encourage a certain type of behavior. So kung mabot na sa gamification, ang game is kaya mahimo na siyang ma-apply. Then, naatay 4 steps in implementing game-based learning in classroom. So, please read everyone. These are the 4 steps in implementing game-based learning. Determine the purpose of game-based learning. Second, play the game, making sure it is aligned with learning goals. Then, making sure it meets expectations, requirements, assess progress throughout the play informing instruction. Okay. So, sa number 1, determine the purpose of game-based learning. Ashay, to look up something parts. 1 is kanang intervention. Intervention. There are times when learners find it hard to demonstrate understanding the material considering games may address the learner's trouble spots. So the game to be chosen should be capable of delivering a content that can adjust itself to the player's knowledge and learning style. Through this, the learner may gain better understanding of difficult material. So sa intervention, kay dili day ka magpataka og hatag og games. So dapat kay kung unsa tong naglisod bitaw ang mga bata kay mao do imong ihatag kay aron mas makasabot sila na sila better understanding sa ilang na lisdan kay kita nga mga teacher di ba kabalo kita natakon sa mga weaknesses sa mga strengths sa atong student so kita dili kita magpataka og hatag sa mga games kay na siya talent games is na siya purpose so kung ang intervention man good intervention man good kay ang teacher kay kinahanglan siya maka-encourage bitaw nga siya ang tutudlo siya ang kanang mag-support sa students behavior dapat kay kabalo ka kung sa mga behavior sa imong students before gid ka mo integrate og mga sa imong gigamit nga games sa lahat. Next is ang enrichment. Please read everyone.
In order for the learner to master the material, consider a game that will present a content through different media. This may encourage the learners to challenge themselves to explore new ways to process the content.
Okay. Dari is in order daw ang mga learners kaya mahimo silang ma-master in anad kay ay imong game is kinahanglan ma-present siya through different media. So magamit din gihapon ang mga sa technology na kanang maka-integrate ka game kay na like sa example ang mga video games. So diri din ang sa enrichment po kay kinahanglan maka-encourage ka sa student nga maka-solve bitaw og mga certain problems. Then ma-use gid dapat nilang mga critical thinking. Then maka-give ka sa student o makatabang ka sa student nga ma-improve ilang ability o maka-concentrate sila nga maka-learn something valuable in fun way. So, next is the reinforcement. Okay, reinforcement.
The entire class may play to enforce curriculum content instead of using games to teach and engage individual learners. This can also make a group activity for game-based learning. For some games with multiplayer features and learners can compete together individual challenge to earn their scores.
Reinforcement. So, mag-ano siya na siya, mga group activity. Di ba dapat mag-game nga, siya mga group activity. Then, sila mag-compete sila against every group. And then, i-compare mo ang ilahang mga scores kay. Pinagi mo sa reinforcement kay. Di ba kung mag-isip ka compete kay, malingkamot na mag-give ka. So, pinaagian na is, di lang ibaliwala lang nila. Kung di mas malingkamot sila kay they are being compared. Next is play the game, making sure it is aligned with the learning goals. So, ang teacher, dapat kung magawa siya game, naka-align din siya sa mga learning goals. And then, after finding the appropriate game, after ta makakita o sakto nga game, ang teacher is na siya i-consider. Teacher control, then most educational games offer teachers the ability to control content and necessity for individual learners. So nadali ang teacher control, intuitiveness, engagement, content types, then content levels. So sa teacher control, read Miss Jonah.
Teacher control. Most educational games offer teachers the ability to control content and to adjust settings for individuals' learners.
Says sa teacher control kay Toad. From the word control, so ang teacher mo na authority nga, control bitaw ako mag-give siya o mga educational games. Then, sa intuitiveness, encourage ang mga learners nga i-challenge ilang kaugalingon pinagi sa mga demonstrating knowledge of the content and discouraging them to focus on how the game works. So, dili kay i-challenge silang game, dili sila mag-focus kung naon sa nga games, kundi lahat yung kanang sila pagkuhan kita sila kagalingon nga dapat makuha ko ni yan nga. Then sa content types ay engagement. Dari depending on how the content is presented, the teacher may determine if the learners enjoy the game. If the game is engaging, they want to play more, and as a result, they learn. So, nagdepende siya sa teacher, no? Kay naman siya teacher nga boring, yan na bita something. So, like, kung ang teacher is kanang okay bitaw yung pagkakuan sa games, may ang inyong sa learners sa teachers is mahimo siyang engaging. Then, mas maka-play ang mga student o mas naslay mga learners sa inyong game. Next kay content types. In order to accommodate diverse learning styles, the game should offer different types of content. Some educational math video games may present graphs, numbers, and word problems. So, depende na sa teacher kung saan content ang iyahang kanang ihatag or ipakita sa students. Like, kay example, kay sa math, pwede sa science, madepende kung depende na sa needs sa bata. Next is the content levels. In addressing diverse trouble spots and aptitudes, the game should utilize differentiated instruction principles so that it can adapt with the content to each player. Though the teacher should pay attention, the game will properly support the learning goals. So, dili kay ang game is gigamit siya sa mga nagkilalain na mga instruction principles. Aron kanang and then ang teacher is kanang mag-pay attention din siya if the game is naka-support ba yun sa learning goals. Ikatulong kay ensure it meets expectation from parents. So, please read everyone.
Parents must also acknowledge the content of implementing game-based learning. According to the National Committee for Citizens Education, parents' participation is a predictor of the success of a learner. It cannot be denied that the family contributes to the learner's achievements. When the school considers the engagement of the parents, there will be a possibility of game-based learning styles, because all concerns pertaining to the integration of the system can be properly addressed and discussed.
Okay, so familiar naman mo ani ang collaboration between sa teachers o sa parents. So gikinahanglan gyud nga ma-meet nato ang expectation sa tanan yung mga ginikanan. Dili niya kay dili kita to denied nga ang family is naka-contribute yun siya sa learner's achievement. Di ba kay dili man pud mahingana ang bata wala gid ang family niya daan. Then kung ang school is consider siya na siya engagement sa parents is kanang there will be a possibility of significant effect to the achievement of the learning because they perform better and stay longer in school. So, ang mga parents kay mosalig naman gina sa teachers kay mas dugay di ba ang students magstay sa school more than sa ilahang balay. Then pag makaulit kay magtulog na lang ingana. So, mas isalig na po sa parents ang mga students sa teachers. So, dapat kay maka-provide dito mga clear communication aron naging smooth implementation aning game-based learning system. Kay dapat na siya mga proper integration or properly addressed and discussed. Next types of last steps of implementing games-based learning classroom by assess progress throughout the play informing instruction. So collecting data from the games the teacher implemented can help him or her to uncover the trouble spots and aptitudes of the learners and help them to learn to shape in class instruction. So makita naman na to ang teacher is long as yung makatabang sa mga bata aron ka lang ma-shape o ma-mold bitaw ang mga bata kung ma-mold para kinamaandam sila or kinamaandam sila to have a better future. Next is examples of game-based learning options for your classroom. So kani mo na ni kasagaran ma-apply sa mga teachers sa sa classroom setting kayo. So first is the video games. Everyone.
There are many video games which offer comprehensive game-based learning experiences. These allow devices to become more readily accessible to the teacher in order to design an instruction.
So mga video games, kabaluhan man yes. Number 2 kay adaptation. Adaptations of common games. Teachers can create
other common games. This will allow the learners to engage in learning activities without completely depending on the computers and other digital devices.
Kung number 1 kay video games kani pwede ka kuha og mga games nga wala bitaw parang depend sa media sa mga ingana like depende sa mga game basta maka-learn bitaw ang mga bata. Next kay original games.
Creating games is not only limited to adapted games or well-known games. Teachers are free to create their own games based on the learning goals that they set and the materials that are available.
So kanito sa original games kay ato may nabuhatan kung activity di bata like wala bisan wala naman talaga kami katong mga well-known na gayud nga mga games pwede man ta maka-create og ato as well as kabalo tama nisud na siya or ni-align na siya sa atong objectives or kanang najoy tay mahatag na learning sa mga bata. Next kay other examples of game-based learning.
There is a great role of games in the market.
Games are not only being used for entertainment alone, but also as an effective tool used for educational purposes. There are statistics which proves that people enjoy playing games, that the fun and excitement of finishing a task, and others are typically elements in a game that hook learners to engage in games.
Okay, other example of game-based learning. So diri kay games are not only being used for entertainment alone, but also as an effective tool used for educational purposes. So, dapat ni siya ay sa mga bata, kay mga bantayan pa man siya, but sa ato ang mga adults, is nagdepende na yun sa kay self-discipline bitaw, like, di dapat ka mahingag lang ay mo lang siya gamiton as for entertainment. Tinanglan ang games is magamit put siya for educational purposes. Next, last would be the advantages and the disadvantages of game-based learning. So,
Games may help learners to engage in their classroom more while making an environment of learning great experience. Games are enjoyable and can encourage the learners to sustain their interest in learning while playing. Games allow the learners to understand the lesson better. Games may improve critical thinking skills as well as reading comprehension. Games can be a source of stress relief for some people.
yes, so ang games, makatabang ito sa mga learners bitaw. Bisan ay kanang makahimo siya ng mga environment of learning with experiences. So sa elementary, kaya na mga indoor games, na mga outdoor games. So maka-help yun siya sa imuha or kanang mas dagan kag ma-experience. Then, syempre, ang games kay enjoyable magig siya. Then, maka-encourage ko siya sa mga learners. Aron ka lang, magpabilit bitaw nila nga ka na interested gihapon sila nga nagtuon while playing. Yan, bitaw. Then, games allow learners to understand the lesson better. Then, games may explore critical thinking skills as well as reading comprehension. So, ang games kay, syempre, mag-think ka. Then, pati ko daw mo ang reading comprehension. Then, ang games kay makawala siya ng stress. Or makawala siya ng relief or stress reliever. Next is the disadvantages.
If games are not designed correctly, it could be to the learner's thinking. Games may distract the learners and can be a waste of time. The gap between the teacher and the learner's technology perspective may create a barrier in the implementation of the instruction. Games could lead to the learner's rejection each of the house, causing physical or psychological or other problems.
So, di ba? Tinuod. Napasabot naman siguro mo.
Yeah.
Wala na, dili ka advantages kung yun ang mga disadvantages. So, kinahanglan, we should be responsible as a future teacher. Huwag ka lang, tuduan din na to ang mga students how to be responsible citizens. More of